I checked the marriage form and handed it to a clerk along with my fiancé, Alex. The clerk said, "Let me take a look at it for you," and took the form from my hands. While we waited, Alex walked over to talk to his family, looking happy. I could have a great life with him and get along well with his family, I thought to myself. As I was thinking, I overheard a conversation between Alex and his family that caught my attention. It took a moment to fully understand what they were saying. "Once they hand in the marriage form, she won't be able to get away from us," one of them said. "I've finally got my helper. I won't have to work anymore. Alex, you did great. Now we can live comfortably. I want a new purse," another added. "I want new golf clubs," someone else said. "I'll let her do all the housework. We'll live the easy life from now on." I couldn't believe what I was hearing. What are they talking about? I thought, frozen in shock. I noticed the clerk looking at me, wide-eyed. She must have overheard everything too. It seemed like Alex and his family were so excited that they didn't notice how loud they were talking. The clerk looked at me and quietly said, "Everything's fine, but I'll return this form to you," handing it back to me. I quietly said, "Thank you," and slipped the form into my bag. My name is Lisa, a 30-year-old office worker. I worked hard to get into a good high school and university, then I landed a job at a top IT company. I gave my all to my career and was promoted to section manager by age 30. The harder I worked, the more success I had, and I felt proud of myself. But sometimes, I felt lonely. It had been a while since I had a boyfriend. When I saw my friends getting married, having babies, and living happy lives, I couldn't help but feel sad. Am I going to be alone forever? I wondered. "Lisa, what are you thinking about?" My coworker, Ben, snapped me out of my thoughts. "Oh, hey, Ben, was I zoning out? You looked like something was on your mind." "It's nothing, but thanks for asking." "All right," Ben said with a smile before walking off. That's not good, I thought. Maybe I should really start looking for a boyfriend. I asked a friend for advice, and she invited me to a party at her house. That's when I met Alex. He was my age and worked at an IT company too, so we had a lot in common and quickly hit it off. We started dating, and everything went smoothly. As we spent more time together, we grew closer and learned more about each other. Alex was very close to his family, and I met them pretty early in our relationship. I was often invited to his parents' house for dinner. "Lisa, it's nice to meet you. I'm Alex's mom, Sarah. And I'm his dad, David." "Nice to meet you. I'm Lisa," I said, smiling. "Hi, I'm Alex's sister, Emma. I didn't know Alex had such a sweet girlfriend," she said. His family seemed so warm and welcoming. "Are there any foods you don't like?" Sarah asked. "No, I like pretty much everything," I answered. "Alex has a lot of food dislikes," she said, laughing. "Oh, that's just a childhood thing," Alex quickly added. "What did Alex hate?" I asked, curious. "He used to hate carrots and peas. I'd have to hide them in other dishes to get him to eat them." Sarah laughed warmly. "Mom, stop, you're embarrassing me," Alex said, turning red. They were such a happy and loving family, the kind of family I had always wanted. My parents divorced when I was in middle school. I lived with my dad, and my brother lived with my mom. My brother and I didn't get along very well, so I wasn't too upset when we were separated. The reason for my parents' divorce was that they were both very focused on their careers. Neither of them wanted to handle the housework, so they decided to split up and each care for one of us. Both my mom and dad had good jobs, so we never struggled financially. My dad wasn't cold, but he let me do my own thing most of the time. From a young age, I wanted to be independent. I thought the best way to do that was to study hard, get into a top university, and land a great job. I worked really hard, and eventually, I got a job at a well-known IT company. But despite all my success, I never felt the warmth of a close family. That's why I loved being around Alex's family so much. "Think of us as your second family," Alex often said. I think he understood my family situation. I was often invited to dinner at his parents' house. His sister, Emma, treated me like a real sister and often asked me for advice about work. After graduating from university, Emma started working at a company with terrible conditions, long hours, no extra pay, and an overwhelming workload. So she quit her old job and is now working part-time at an ice cream shop. but she's back on the job hunt and often asks me for advice. Thanks, Lisa, this is really helpful, she said one day. Don't mention it, Emma, I enjoy helping you. Lisa, you're like a real big sister to me, I've always wanted one. That's so sweet, my sister never said anything like that to me, and she wasn't as kind as you. Really? Then let's go out and visit lots of places together. Sounds good, let's do that. I'm so excited, there are so many cafes and restaurants I want to check out with you. Alright, we'll go when we have a day off together. Yay, I can't wait. Emma was so sweet, and I was really happy to get to know her. Around this time, Alex suddenly proposed to me. Lisa, will you marry me? I want to build a warm family with you, he said. I was overjoyed. We told Alex's family about the proposal and that we were getting married. Oh, you're finally getting married. Alex finally proposed, now you're going to be my sister-in-law. His family was so excited. We'll need to start planning the wedding. Alex looked so happy. That evening, we had dinner with his family, and afterward, we left. Lisa, are you really getting married? One of my coworkers asked. Yes, I'm finally getting married. Congratulations. Thanks so much. Everyone at work congratulated me warmly. On our next day off, we were invited to Alex's parents' house again for lunch. On the way, Alex said, I need to tell you something important later. Okay. Alex seemed cheerful, so I figured it was good news. When we arrived at his parents' house, there was a big turkey on the table. Are we celebrating something today? I asked. Alex's mom smiled and said, I'm so happy to think that you're going to be my daughter-in-law. She looked so cute as she said this with bright eyes. We opened a cold beer and enjoyed the turkey. It felt nice to celebrate something so special. After chatting casually, Alex said, Oh, I forgot to mention something important. I'm thinking of going to the marriage registry today. What? I've already taken care of everything. I was surprised. Wait, we're going today? Is there something special about today? No, it's not like that. Then why today? I just wanted to get it done as soon as possible. But why not wait until after the wedding? The wedding is still far off. We had visited several venues and found one we really liked, but it was so popular that we could only get a reservation months later. I think we should wait until after the wedding, I suggested. No, I want to be married to you as soon as possible. The sooner, the better for both of us, Alex insisted. Lisa, I agree with Alex. You should get married as soon as you can, Alex's mom added. We had also been planning to find an apartment between Alex's workplace and mine. Well, about that. We were thinking of moving into this house together, Alex said. What? I was shocked. I thought we'd be living alone. I mean, it would take time to find an apartment, and we also need to prepare for the wedding. Then I think it would be better to stay at my parents' house first and take our time looking for a place, Alex reasoned. Alex had a point, but I was nervous about living with his family. I wasn't too keen on the idea of living with family, but Alex's family was so kind and welcoming. Don't worry, Lisa, we're ready to welcome you into our family. We understand your situation, so you don't have to worry about anything, his mom said with a warm smile. That reassured me, and I decided I could live with them. Okay, thank you so much, I said. Then let's head to the marriage registry, Emma said excitedly, and the rest of the family agreed. I nodded, all right, let's do it. We all went to the marriage bureau together. Since Emma hadn't been drinking, she drove us there. When we arrived, I was feeling a bit nervous from the drinks I'd had, so I excused myself to use the bathroom before submitting the marriage registration form. When I returned, Alex's parents and Emma were chatting happily. I handed the marriage registration form to the clerk with Alex. The clerk said, "Let me check it for you," and took the form. While we waited, Alex walked over to his family, looking happy and relaxed. With him, I could have a wonderful family and get along with everyone, I thought. But then, I overheard something disturbing in the conversation between Alex and his family. It took a while, but once they submit the marriage form, she won't be able to get away from us, one of them said. I finally have my helper. I won't have to work now. Alex, you did well. Now we can live the good life. Yes, I want a new purse. And I want new golf clubs. I'll even let her do all the housework. We'll live the easy life from now on. I couldn't believe what I was hearing. What are they talking about? I thought. completely shocked. The clerk looked just as stunned, her eyes wide. She must have overheard everything too. It seemed like Alex and his family were so caught up in their excitement that they didn't notice how loud they were speaking. The clerk leaned in and whispered, "Everything looks good, but I'll return this form to you," as she gently handed the form back to me. I whispered back, "Thank you," and quickly tucked the form into my bag. After I put it away, Alex came over to me. "Has everything been submitted without any problems?" he asked. "Yes," I lied. "Great, let's go home," he said with a smile. I followed Alex's family home. They had always seemed warm and friendly, but now they looked intimidating. That day, they drove me home, but the next day Alex said, "We're married now, so it's time for you to move in with my parents." I agreed, deciding to move in to see if what I overheard was really true. Of course, I pretended I'd already cancelled my apartment plans, telling Alex I would handle everything myself, and that I'd be selling my belongings to a recycling company soon. We moved in with his parents. As soon as I arrived, everything felt different. "Lisa, I manage all the finances in this house," Alex's mom said, "so you need to put your salary into the household account." "What?" I asked, shocked. Alex nodded. "My mom will handle everything. She'll give you money for lunch and other expenses, and she'll manage the finances." "Oh, really?" I asked. "That's right, so don't worry about giving me your entire salary," Alex added. "And one more thing," his mom continued, "you'll do all the housework." "What?" I replied, taken aback. "Is there a problem with that?" she asked, raising an eyebrow. "I'm working too," I said. "I think that's too much to ask, handling all the housework too." "Oh, so you're not even willing to try?" she snapped. "Shut your mouth and do the chores," Alex's dad barked, his expression stern and threatening. Even Emma said, "I love those brown bags, get me some too." Alex added, "Lisa, you're my wife now, and you're part of this family, you have to do whatever we say." That's when it hit me, this was the real reason they had wanted me to marry Alex. They were trying to use me from the start. "I won't do it," I said, standing my ground. What did you say?" Alex asked, surprised and angry. "I can't accept any of this, I won't do all the housework, and I won't give you all my salary." Alex and his family were furious. "Hey, Lisa, what do you think you're doing? You're our daughter-in-law now, just do as we say, your only worth is making our lives easier." Their voices were cold and cruel. "I'm not your daughter-in-law," I said firmly. "What?" Alex's mom gasped, looking shocked. "You had that conversation at the marriage bureau, didn't you?" After hearing it, I decided not to register our marriage. Their faces turned pale in disbelief. "Oh, no. Are you sure you didn't submit it? Why don't you check with the marriage bureau?" "I already threw the marriage registration form away. I can't stay with people who want to take advantage of me. Let's break up, Alex." Alex collapsed in defeat. I left their house. Apparently, they had already planned an overseas trip, booked luxury hotels, and bought first-class airline tickets, all because they thought they'd be living off my salary. The day I broke up with Alex was just one day before their trip. They ended up losing a lot of money on steep cancellation fees. Alex asked me to cover the cancellation fees, but of course, I refused and blocked him from contacting me. Now they're buried in debt, about $50,000, and they're all turning on each other. Alex's family didn't really have a good relationship, they were only held together by money. "Lisa, did you cancel the marriage?" "Oh, Justin, have you heard about that already? Rumors sure do spread fast." "You can laugh if you want," he said. "I'm not laughing," Justin replied. "I'm actually happy." "Why?" "Because now I have a chance." I was surprised, and he looked a bit embarrassed when he said that. A few months later, Justin asked me out, and recently, he proposed to me. I'm so happy now. Alex and his family were a bit scary, but I'm glad I found out their true colors before things went any further. As for the rest of my story with Justin, I'll save that for another time. For now, I just wish myself a happy marriage this time.